Hello and welcome to today's broadcast. I thank you for joining us, whether you're joining us on YouTube or Facebook. Today we are going to be talking about stevia and what is in our little stevia packets. So I have a couple examples that I'm going to share with you today of very common stevias that we are probably very mindlessly putting into our everyday routine, and I'm going to share some information to help you decide if putting stevia into your everyday routine could possibly be hurting the efforts that you have with healing your body, or maybe even weight loss or fat reduction, or maybe it's that thing that you are not affected by. So thank you for joining us today. My name is Diane, and here in this community, we talk about all things for today's aging woman, primarily based on the concept of creating a lifestyle for ourselves based on intermittent fasting and living a keto-like lifestyle, and making sure that the decisions that we make for ourselves lead us to looking and feeling our best and living our most authentic life. So let's talk about stevia. We have done some other conversations here in this community about what breaks a fast. I'll make sure that I link that video if you guys want to go check that out. And there's always big controversy about stevia, because there are camps that say stevia does not break a fast, and then there's camps that say stevia does break a fast. So I want you to be able to stay in the camp that best suits the life and the lifestyle that you're creating for yourself. So does stevia break a fast? Yes and no. And again, it depends on what camp you're in and what it is you're trying to heal with your body. So I'm going to share with you a stevia that we have in our home, and there's 3 different versions of this same brand of stevia, and I want to share with you what the ingredients are in one version of this brand and what that ingredient could possibly be doing to you and the efforts that you're trying to make with balancing out your hormones and weight loss and fat loss as well. So this is a very common product in our house. You guys saw a picture if you saw the announcement about today. It is from Trader Joe's. No shame on Trader Joe's. We love Trader Joe's. No shame on stevia even. This is just an awareness type of video to make sure that you are being diligent about reading ingredients labels on your products. So stevia looks pretty innocent. It says 100% natural, calorie-free, sugar-free dietary supplement. And then you read the ingredients label. You would think that the only ingredient in this packet of stevia is stevia, because it's 100% natural and it's calorie-free and sugar-free. So what the heck could be in here? Well, the first ingredient on this particular stevia packet is rice maltodextrin. What is maltodextrin? Well, I printed off a Healthline report about maltodextrin, and I'm going to read a little bit of information for you so that you can be aware of what this pesky little ingredient could be doing to sabotage your efforts with balancing out your hormones and really being able to take advantage of the time that you are spending in a fasted state. So maltodextrin is high on the glycemic index, meaning that it can cause a spike in blood sugar. The glycemic index of maltodextrin ranges between 106 and 136. So the glycemic index of maltodextrin is higher than table sugar. So that little ingredient is in this packet of stevia, sugar-free, calorie-free stevia that we use as a natural alternative to sweeten things, probably the coffee that we have in the morning. And the first ingredient on this packet of 100% natural stevia is maltodextrin. So maltodextrin in this packet is rice maltodextrin, but it can also be in the form of corn and or wheat. So for those of you who are trying to be corn-free, myself included, I try to stay away from corn additives. Maltodextrin would be in that definition of additives. And for those of you who are trying to be gluten-free, you could be innocently exposing yourself by simply putting a 100% natural stevia packet into your morning beverage. So I want to make sure that we reiterate here in this community that it is upon us to be self-educated and quiet down the noise of people who are telling us what we are and are not allowed to do, and really take the time to turn packages around and read what the actual ingredients are in our packages. And remember, anything that comes in a package is processed. Processing requires certain ingredients to be put in the product that's in a package to thicken it or preserve it. And in this case, I'm assuming that maltodextrin is put in this packet to thicken it up. And I'm going to show you why that is so. So here's another form of stevia, again from Trader Joe's. No shame on Trader Joe's. We love our Trader Joe's. This is an organic stevia extract. And I want to show you what one serving size of this organic stevia is. And when I read the ingredients label on this stevia, it just says stevia. So I don't know if you can see this on there, but that's the amount of stevia in one serving. This is organic, only ingredient is stevia. And then you can see how much of the stevia powder with maltodextrin is in this packet. Big difference between this packet and this serving here. Only stevia extract in there. Stevia with a additive of maltodextrin in here, probably a thickening agent or to make you feel like you're getting a full packet of stevia, or probably something that's just going to preserve this in a package. Let me put that over there. So why is maltodextrin a thing that we need to be aware of? It flat out says in this Healthline report that if you are suffering from insulin resistance or diabetes, maltodextrin is an ingredient that you should stay clear of. So I was pre-diabetic. I was also insulin resistant, and stevia was one of those things that just made it into my everyday feasting routine because I thought I was doing the right thing by my body by using a sweetening alternative, such as a stevia extract type of sweetener, as opposed to real sugar or the little pink or blue packets that a lot of us used to use. And so you have to be diligent about reading those ingredients labels so you're not zapping yourself when you think that the choices that you're making are really healthy for you. Remember, soy lecithin, I was soy free and exposed 15 times to soy in a day when I was consciously avoiding it. Things like maltodextrin are landing in our products that are claiming to be sugar-free or calorie-free because it is an alternative to adding in sweetness to a product without having to add in those calories or those sugar grams. So it is also not listed as there's any carbohydrates in this product as well. So if you're trying to lose weight, it says flat out in here, I've highlighted it right here. If you are trying to lose weight, you will want to avoid maltodextrin. So for those of you who are feeling frustrated or you're feeling stuck and you're fasting long and you're feasting well, please take some time to go through your pantry. Please take some time to read some ingredients labels. Very innocently, little things like maltodextrin can be creeping up throughout your day when you think you're doing right by yourself by going the sugar-free route or going the calorie-free route, but you could be exposing yourself to something that could literally be stalling your weight loss. So if you're insulin resistant, if you're diabetic, and if you're trying to lose weight, maltodextrin is something that you want to stay away from for sure. So it could break your fast. It could be causing you to have a spike in your insulin. If you're not testing your blood glucose, and if you're not monitoring how you're feeling in a fasted state, then listening to that outside noise that stevia is going to be okay, and then not taking the extra step to read actual ingredients that are in your stevia could be that thing that's holding you stuck and making you feel frustrated, and could potentially cause some health conditions for you that you were totally not expecting to have. So I also have an organic liquid stevia drop container here as well. Again, this is Trader Joe's just because that's what we usually buy our stuff from. And this one does not have maltodextrin in it, but it does have organic alcohol in it. So if you're trying to stay away from sugar alcohols, again, that might be a thing that you want to be aware of as well. I know some sugar alcohols do cause a lot of digestive issues for people and have also been linked to leading to some gut bacteria issues, so leaky gut type of things, and also have been linked to specifically to autoimmune disorders. So be very aware, do your research on sugar alcohols as well, because not all sugar alcohols are created equally. And just because it's calorie free and just because it's carbohydrate free doesn't mean that it's going to keep you free of other ailments that particular ingredient might cause your particular body chemistry. So do your research, and I always make sure that I add that you have to make sure that the benefits to a choice that you're making is always far outweighing any of the risks. So I know for me personally, any kind of sugar alcohols, a lot of like soy-free and keto-like chocolate type of bars end up having a lot of sugar alcohols in them, and they completely ruin my gut. Like, I am gassy, I am bloated, and I feel really sick. And it's sort of like a feeling I got exposed to some really intense lactose. It's the same response I have to dairy, and it makes me absolutely digestively a wreck. So make sure that when you're making those connections with even sugar alcohols, that you give it a test run, and if something doesn't feel right for you, then that's probably that ingredient in that particular product that is just not meshing well with either your gut bacteria or your body chemistry as well. So the other thing I wanted to talk about that's in a lot of stevia packets, and it's in the stevia packet that is found at our local Starbucks. So I don't know if it's at all Starbucks, but it's the stevia in the raw. So again, that wording on the packaging can be very deceiving. Stevia in the raw, it's 100% natural, and we just take it, we open it, we put it in our coffee, and rarely, I know I have been guilty of this, do I turn around the packaging to see what some of the other ingredients might be in that as well. So I pulled off the ingredients information for, Michael, do you see where that one is? Here it is right here. So it's stevia in the raw. So this is from their website right here. And the number one ingredient in stevia in the raw, which is a 100% natural 0-calorie sweetener, is dextrose. And dextrose is just another one of those chemically produced sugar sweeteners that we put in things to add volume, to add thickness, and to increase the and enhance the sugar sensory thing that we're looking for in those artificial sweeteners, and can also be problematic for some of us as well. So don't be fooled into thinking that you're making a better decision if you're not taking the time to go ahead and read the ingredients labels on a lot of these products. And I want to share a little story with you guys about my own personal experience with Maltodextrin, and where I ended up really suffering from the side effects of having that very high glycemic sugar agent in my body. So my very first half marathon that I trained for, I did when I was 44, so 10 years ago if you're doing math. And I used goo packs because that's what all the running community experts were telling me that I need to do. Experts were telling me that I needed to do when training for a half marathon and throughout my race. So I was mucking down those horrible tasting goo packs. They really do make me have like this gag reflex. They're horrible. And at the end of my half marathon training, I ended up depressed and so disappointed in my body because I ended up having fat, like literal fat pockets on my body. And this is after training for a half marathon. And I didn't understand what I did wrong until I started doing my research about these goo packs and realized that I was sugar poisoning myself, basically. That I didn't need this carbohydrate intake for my runs, and my body couldn't break it down. So maltodextrin literally was poisoning my body and making me hoard fat, even training for a half marathon. So my second half marathon 4 years later, I did not use goo packs. I trained fasted, and I didn't use any carb enhancing type of products to get me through my training or through my half marathon. I can happily report that my second half marathon at the age of 48, so 4 years older, I was able to run faster, and I was a lean, mean fighting machine at the end of that. The only difference between those two different training and running experiences was maltodextrin. So be careful about what it is you're putting in your body and question these pesky little ingredients that are added in. Your body might not be able to break them down chemically, and when your body can't break down a product chemically, what ends up happening is it becomes problematic in your body because your body doesn't know what to do with it. And that was exactly what happened to me with maltodextrin. Little do you know that maltodextrin is also in stevia that you're putting in your coffee. So could stevia break your fast? Yes, and then some. It could really keep your body in that fat hoarding mode if you are insulin resistant and your body is having problems processing carbohydrates anyway. So you have to ask yourself the question, am I frustrated with what I'm doing with my fasting and my feasting? And can I not identify where the problem is coming from? You have to become very diligent about reading these ingredients labels and then doing your research about maybe ingredients that you're not familiar with. do some research and figure out what it is that product is, why that product is in your 100% natural, whatever it is you're doing, or calorie-free type of product, and then ask yourself the question if it's worth it. Is it worth it to you to put that in your body, or can you figure out a way to get through your life without having that in? And oftentimes these stevia type of things end up showing up in our life throughout the day. It's usually not a one-time occurrence. It's usually things that we're picking up as marketed to us as keto-like or dietary or sugar-free, and we end up being exposed to products like Maltodextrin or Dextrose throughout the day, or maybe some of these pesky sugar alcohols that are causing us major digestive upset. I hope this shed a little bit of light on the subject of stevia for you. There's definitely nothing wrong with stevia. I would highly recommend getting it in maybe a more organic type of form where it's just pure stevia leaf extract and it doesn't have any kind of additives into it. And then ask yourself the question, why is it that we need everything to be sweet anyway? And can we learn how to live our life with just a little bit less sweetness and just enjoy the flavor of food in its natural state? I'm going to go ahead and open the floor for any questions or comments. If you are a stevia user, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know, are you using stevia in the raw? Did you know that there was dextrose in that as the #1 ingredient? Or maybe are you like us and we're using something like a Trader Joe's stevia that the #1 ingredient was maltodextrose and you didn't know that you were exposing yourself to those type of chemicals throughout your day? And are you ready to ask yourself the question if it's worth it or not? And I would love to be able to answer your question or comment in the comment section below. And I know we weren't going to go live today, but I felt like this is one of those conversations that we needed to have as a community. And I wanted to make sure that I was here to answer any kind of questions you guys had about the subject of stevia. I know it's touchy, and I know it's really that thing that people get very defensive and very combative about. And so I wanted to make sure that you felt like you were heard here today and that you can get some questions answered. So let me see what we've got going on here. And then if you haven't done so yet and you're watching this live or on the rebroadcast, always hit that like button. When you guys hit that like button and leave me comments in the comment section and share what we talk about here with the people that you think would benefit from our conversation, we get found in the search engines on YouTube and more women will have the opportunity to be exposed to our amazing community. And the more women that we can help educate about how to go through this aging process successfully, the better the world is going to be. So make sure that you hit that like button and you leave your comments for me as well. Okay, let's see what we got here. Linda from YouTube, from Cali. Girlfriend, you're breaking my heart. I miss my home state. May 2019, grad. Great topic. Haven't been able to catch you live lately and I've missed you. Thank you for being a consistent presence. Oh, Linda, I'm super happy. We were not even going to go live today. So I'm glad that you were able to catch us live, and it's super cool to be able to have you in our community. Sarah, stevia is also known as steviol. Does that mean, does this mean that it has polynol and thus not suitable those who have to go on the, I would say if you're on that low FODMAP diet, I would question everything until you figure out what is really causing you intolerances. You know, it's a chemical, right? And so it's processed. The advice that I got when I was doing my research on stevia was if it's not in the original stevia leaf extract green powder form, then it's processed. So if you can find stevia still green in a powder form, that's the best to get. And then that you don't have to worry about any kind of sugar alcohols or any kind of chemical changes going on in the processing of it. So maybe research how to get stevia in its true natural raw form, and that might help you as well. And then anytime you're on any kind of FODMAP diet, you really are advised to stay away from all things sugary. So maybe figure out a way to live without it, or find even monk fruit might even be better. We've totally switched over to monk fruit as any kind of sweetener in our house, and we're loving it. So maybe try looking for just a completely different alternative as well. And then Aaliyah, February 2020 class, looking good and feeling great. That's what I love to hear from my graduates. Congratulations, girlfriend. And it's just, we're still in February. You're living the best life. Good for you, girlfriend. And then Sandra from August 2019 grad, if using a sweetener, go for stevia with erythritol or monk fruit, I think they are safe. Yeah, so erythritol is the one that causes gut bacteria upset and is also linked to autoimmune disorders. So be careful of that one as well. I would say probably just go with either coconut sugar or monk fruit for sure. But erythritol is also one of those ones that was highly advised to really use in moderation or eliminate as well. And then Edel, hi from Ireland. Love your live chats. I have been IF for 2 months, varying between 17 and 20 hours, but no results. Not just weight loss, but mental clarity, alertness, etc. Should I do longer fasts? Edel, you should join my class, girlfriend, and we will get all of that sorted out for you. Oftentimes, it's just something that you need to tweak with either your fasting window or your feasting, but you should be feeling and seeing results with the fact that you have been doing this now for a couple of months. So I would highly recommend jumping into our course that starts on March 7th, and we'll get you all sorted out. And then Kathleen here today in snowy Detroit, 2018 December grad. I use stevia a lot in the summer in iced tea, but always wonder how stevia affects insulin. I know if I eat erythritol, it makes me sick. Yeah. So just make sure that if you're using stevia that you use it in the purest form. Read the ingredients label. If stevia is not the first and only ingredient, I would say keep looking until you find the right one. And then Marcia, I do not use stevia, but is wondering if it is okay to use MCT oil, organic coconut oil in my coffee in the morning. If you're trying to go for a clean fast is nothing. If you're not seeing and feeling the results that you were hoping for from your intermittent fasting, I say cut all of that out and go squeaky clean. Tamara, thanks Diane, great topic, September 2019 grad. Teresa, February 2019 grad, thanks for the information. Girlfriend, you're welcome, for sure. And then Carol, yes, I do use stevia. I try to use the real product. If I don't use a lot because most stevia is mixed with something else, something stevia and monk fruit tastes bad. Yeah. You know, and you get to a certain point when you're really fat adaptive and you're not so much dependent on sugar as your tastes change and your cravings change. And so if you could go without sweetener and like your coffee and all that kind of stuff during the day, it's just better anyway. And I know I always ebb and flow between sweetened coffee and pure black coffee. And anytime I'm on my black coffee kick, I always notice a huge difference in how I feel. And I also notice a significant difference in my physique, and I see that little layer of sheath of fat cells just go away when I go straight black coffee. So you always have to go back to that too, is like, what am I seeing and what am I feeling, and are the actions that I'm taking equivalent to what I'm seeing and feeling? And I always am much happier when I'm straight black coffee. So give it a test run and see how those results are for you. And then Kimberly, I actually grew stevia last year. I think I will grow it again and make my own instead of buying it. Kimberly, send us some of that stuff for sure. And then Sandra, when traveling this past week, actually went to Starbucks and used the sweetener you were talking about. Never again had to read the label. Yeah, I didn't know either. So, you know, researching is always fascinating to me, and education is key. So I'm always a big stickler about ingredients labels when I'm at the grocery store. I never even thought about looking at stevia packets because the marketing is brilliant, right? 100% natural. Why would I think that there's anything else in there but stevia? And maltodextrin to me is anything but natural. So make sure that you're reading those packet labels for sure. And then Deborah, my stevia is organic, but says vegetable glycerin. What is that? Vegetable glycerin could be anything. I wouldn't trust it. And so I would find a better stevia for sure. And then Deanna Smith, 2018 March grad, F3 summer course, midlife mindset 2019. Girl, you're just my girl. Glad to catch you live. I use stevia probably twice a month. It's a powder from Trader Joe's. It says organic stevia leaf, but not GR. Okay, so organic is the one, this is the one that doesn't have anything in it but stevia, so I think that's okay. And just volume wise, you know this is stevia because there's so much less of this needed than that's in this packet. But I would do yourself a favor and just turn it around and read the ingredients label for sure on that one. Carol, where do you get pure stevia that is green form? I don't know. I haven't found any yet. I would look at a health food store or maybe just Google it and see if maybe like a what's it called? The place you can buy food. Thrive Market might have it. That's a good place that does healthy stuff. Or Amazon. I would look on Amazon too. And then, let's see, June. I have been using sweet leaf occasionally. First ingredient is inulin, then organic stevia leaf extract from silica. will be looking for something better or switch to monk fruit. Thanks. Yeah, we found monk fruit packets that look just like this at our local central market, also known as HEB in a lot of places. So look at one of your maybe like healthier grocery stores in the sweetener section and see if you can maybe find a monk fruit. Coconut sugar is really good as well. And then don't care for the aftertaste. I use monk fruit and erythritol. Awesome. And then Kathleen, you are super welcome, girlfriend. Thanks for jumping on. I miss you being on our lives. I haven't seen you in a while. And then Marissa, thanks for the info on Maltodextrin. I use these drops and the ingredients seem okay. Yeah, there you go. And then Teresa, I don't use stevia and I've cut out other artificial sweeteners. They were hard to give up. Splenda, but I haven't used it in a month. September 2018 grad. Yes, Splenda is one of those ones that's iffy too. And I used to be a huge, not sweetened though. What was the one in the, was it the blue packet?
Equal.
Equal, girlfriend. I was like, girlfriend, Equal was my jam, but I don't touch any of that stuff anymore. And it actually makes me feel sick now, and I couldn't live without it. So once you get those taste buds changed around, it really is easier to give stuff up for sure. And Janice, no stevia used here. Good for you, girlfriend. Good for you. Okay, so we got everybody's comments. I wanted to make sure that I came on here live. I think this is really valuable information, especially for those of you who are doing all the right things and still not getting the results that you feel like you should be getting. It could be something like Maltodextrin. And that aha moment I had with those goo packs as a runner, I'm telling you, I was depressed at 44 after training my tail off to run a half marathon and ended up with chafed thighs and fat pockets all over my body. And now, you know, making that connection between Maltodextrin and just knowing that my body cannot break down those type of carbohydrates. And now that I'm fat adaptive, and a lot of you are fat adaptive as well, and when you train fasted, not only do you not have to depend on all those chemicals to keep your body going, but you can train your body to use its own body resources as energy, and you will benefit greatly for sure. So I hope this was educational for you. Always turn ingredients labels around. Don't assume that just because the packaging is worded in a way that makes you feel safe is not enough for us to make the purchase and invest our money in something that once you turn the ingredients label around, you might be shocked and realize that that's not the best option for you. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. You guys know, don't suffer. If you've been intermittent fasting for a month and you're not seeing the results that you were hoping for, jump into our March 7th class. I break this down so simply for you. You're supported with a group of women. The information and experience that you have, you can take with you forever, and there's no need to struggle when there is such an easier way. And I talked to a couple of women today on some one-on-one consult calls, and they have been in this community for like a couple years watching before they jumped into the class. Don't suffer for years. 3 weeks, I get you in the class, I hold your hand, I walk you through it, I'm there with you every step of the way, and in 3 weeks you can make a significant difference in how you're looking and how you're feeling, and more importantly, you can put a good path in your line of sight for how you want to age successfully as well. So I hope to see you guys in class with us on the 7th. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Maybe Michael and I will come on here live on Friday. If not, we'll have a video that we'll upload for you guys as well. Talk to you guys soon.